Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hello, my name is Larry. Welcome to Bass and Hot Rods. On this channel, of course, what we do is we do hot rods with a little bass guitar thrown in here and there. If you haven't been keeping up with my content in the past, what I've been doing over the last several months is we've been in the midst of a move from the Dallas-Fort Worth area to the Ozarks, to a farm that my wife inherited that is going to allow me to go from a two-car garage in the suburbs to a nice 30 by 40 garage with 15-foot ceilings and a whole bunch of room to work on the two projects that I've got going now, a Hurricane Motorsports Cobra and a Shelby Hot Rods 1932 three-window highboy. I've actually been able to get back, now that I've gotten some of the work done in the shop, and I actually have a little bit of lights in here, more on that coming up soon. I've actually been able to get back and actually do a few things on the Cobra. Let's take a look. Just as a reminder, this is my Hurricane Motorsports Hurricane Roadster Cobra replica. This is a street version, meaning no side scoop, no side pipes, no roll bar, Lucas taillights as opposed to the coffin style taillights, and a few other things that are just absolutely different. What I've been doing is I've been roughing in the body and started the preliminary fitting of the doors, the hood, and the deck lid. I've got a lot of work to do on this, but I have managed to make some strides. Way back in one of my much earlier videos, some time ago, when I did the first fitting of the hood, it was way off. I had about a 2-inch gap here. It was overlapped badly here, and the entire problem was the tub for the seating area was in a slightly different location than it should have been. So I relocated that, was able to move back the body, and now we have a pretty good roughed in hood. Now it's still got a lot of work to do on this because these panels are intentionally sent to you larger than they need to be. So what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of episodes is I'm going to come in here with some 1/8" vinyl tape, and I'm going to be taping off the area of where I need to sand and grind to get the gap set on this particular hood. Being a fiberglass replica, we've got some imperfections. This right here, for example, it's a little bit high on these sides, and I've got it just about adjusted out as much as I can, but I'm hoping it will drop down a little bit once I get these the hood sized a little bit better to fit the hood opening. You'll notice it does not have a hood scoop. It does have the etching for the hole in the hood should I decide to go that way. And the problem that I was worried about was, did I have enough clearance? Because with the Edelbrock ProFlow EFI I'm going with this, it's a particularly high-rise intake, and it was going to make it very, very close. However, I have managed to get the hood on here and get it roughed into the size where I think I can absolutely get some clearance. It almost, if not barely, touches at the front end of this up here. But if I decide that is a problem, this is a second layer, I can come in and I can clearance this a little bit to make sure it fits. And I will not have to cut the hood scoop, and I will not have to use the hood scoop. So that makes me very, very happy. I don't know if I can actually get in here. Let me see if I can turn on some lights here and get up in here. But you can see just how close that is to everything under there. So I am going to have to probably clearance it just a little bit, but I think it will work just fine. Now on the doors, I've started the preliminary roughing those into position. They're not going to be too terribly difficult to fit. I've got to get them dialed in a little bit better, get the insets and everything set so I can start setting the gaps on this. The deck lid is going to be an issue. When they made this body, and this, I'm not sure if I told you this or not, while it is not the latest serial number of the Hurricane Roadsters, this is the last one that left the Iowa factory before Hurricane closed, sold, and moved to Indiana. And it looks like they might have rushed this deck lid just a little bit. The contour doesn't fit. This is going to take a lot of work, and it might frankly be beyond me, but I'm going to give it a shot. I need to space this up a little bit right here and start setting the gaps here as well. I also need to come in here and drill a hole for this because that's where the fuel inlet goes. And you can see I've got undercar exhaust on this one as opposed to this typical side pipes that you normally see on Cobras. The dash is not quite in yet. I'm getting it upholstered as we speak. As soon as it is upholstered, I'll bring it in and I can set it in the car. At that point, I've just about got everything roughed in close enough on the panels where I can actually start roughing those in. I'm out of the 1/8 inch tape that I need to do that. So the plan is in a couple of days when that tape comes in, I'm going to mark those where I can start finishing them for the gaps. The body is then going to come back off. We'll put the dash in and we'll continue the wiring, which as you can see right now, all of that is the under hood wiring that needs to be have a hole drilled in the firewall and then run through and gone to their locations. But that is essentially what I've gotten done on the Hurricane right now. One other thing that I managed to get, the SC and the competition models, the grill opening is just like this, but there is a thing on the front of the street models. It's just basically, it's a piece of sheet metal. It acts, believe it or not, as a spoiler to add downforce that mounts in the grill right across there, and it has a piece of chrome trim that goes across it. I did manage to locate a source for that piece. This is the piece in question. This is a sheet of aluminum, and no, it's not white. It actually, this is a protective coating that comes on the aluminum. This is bare aluminum. You can see right there where it's starting to peel a little bit. Right across here, it's got a piece of chrome trim that goes in it. The chrome trim is in the box. And this is made for the Kirkham Cobras, which are aluminum body Cobras, but the dimensions of it work out perfectly. And what it does is it basically mounts inside of here, like so, and has the chrome trim that goes across it. And it's actually adjustable where you can adjust the pitch of it. You can see that it's got a contour to it, and you can adjust the pitch of it up or down to add or subtract downforce. Believe it or not, it does work. But what I've got to do now is I've got this piece of sheet aluminum. It is ready to go. I've got to figure out how to mount it inside of the grill. Now, this right here, I've started roughing these in. These are the bumper mounts right here. I've got them clamped sort of in place, but the body may actually have to come up a little bit due to the rise in the hood right there. So all the adjustments right there are not quite done, so I'm not ready to drill holes like that. You've got a hole that you drill right here that's part of the body mounts that mounts to the inside of this, and then of course you've got the bumper mounts that go through this hole right here as well. And I think what I'm going to do is figure out some way of mounting that off of these, whether I can put a bracket here, maybe run a threaded rod across here to allow a swivel, put another one in the back off of a hinge or something like that, and mount that up. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with that yet, but that is something I'm working on. And by the way, any of you Cobra guys out there that might be watching this video, if you have that grill splitter on your Cobra, I would be very grateful if you could send me pictures or send me ideas on how to mount that. I have scoured the internet, asked many questions, have not been able to find any notes on a mounting system for that. There was a guy that was making these from a company called Darkwater Customs that I had been talking to rather. And the last communication I had with him was an email that he sent out to all the people that were in his database saying that he was out of business and no longer doing it. I did find the source for that, but they have no way of mounting it. So if any of you guys out there have a Cobra or a Cobra replica, if you could take some pictures and send them to me on how that mounts, that would be wonderful. Otherwise, I'll just have to figure something out on myself, which I can do. But if I can get a little bit closer to the way the original one was, that would be outstanding. I would very much welcome that. So if you can, be sure and send me a message, and I'd be happy to talk to you on that. Now, as I said, the next step on this is going to be to put my body buck back together, lift the body back off of it, put it on the body buck where I can continue to do body work on the body itself, and also get this into what is referred to, of course, as go-kart mode, meaning get all the wiring done, get the engine started, get it running, get the seats and interior and all that mounted and in position where I can actually sit down in the thing, and we might be able to take it for a first go-kart run before we're ready to start really settling in and nailing the body work. We've got a long way to go, but we've come a long way as well. And of course, there is the 32 coupe I referred to at the beginning of this video. I will be getting back on it as well. We're in the wiring stages right there. I've got to wire the gauges and other things on the inside. It does not have exhaust on it yet, but I will be able, hopefully pretty soon, do the first start on that as well. So we're getting very, very close on both of these as far as first start goes. And this is the dash that they sent to me originally. It is not the correct dash. This is an SC or semi-comp dash. I wanted the street version. Again, I am building a street Cobra, meaning no side pipes, no roll bar, no hood scoop, full bumpers, the splitter, quite a few differences, and there is a difference in the dash as well. If you were referencing some of my early videos, the gauge placement is considerably different, and the other dash actually has a glove box. That dash is in the process of getting finished out, and as soon as I get that back, I will mount that dash, get all the gauges in position, and move forward from there. Say what comes next in general. Today being a Sunday, I'm about ready to shut it down. My wife and I have been doing an awful lot of traveling the last couple of weeks. Our last kid graduated from high school and running back and forth to where she is. She's in a school that is down in Dallas. She's about to finish graduating before we move her to college. So we've been doing a lot of traveling lately. But once this next weekend, I am going to be getting a scissor lift in here, start putting up the ceiling lights, get them wired up as well. Once that is done, put my body buck back together. I don't want to put it back together right now because I'll need room for the scissor lift to be able to move around freely in here, and the less things that I have up and around that I need to move out of the way, the better. So once the lights are up, I'll put the body buck back together, get this body back off the Cobra, and start the wiring process again. So please stay with me. I've been promising for months that we're going to get back on the cars. We are finally starting to get back on them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the content, please be sure and hit like and subscribe. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks.